Yo, what's good, people? Signing in, and I'm gonna be signing out. So, a little review, little overview, and my opinion and rating out of 10 of Megadeth's record. So far, so good, so what? It was the third record they put out. From what I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong. And this is what I think of it. I've only just listened to it, really. It was an odd record. This album isn't a showcase to me why Megadeth is up there in the big four of thrash metal. I guess half of it is to do with being in a place at a time and the correlation with Mustaine and Metallica and so on and so forth. Because if this album was put forth in contrast of the other albums that were getting put out by the big four, I'd think, what's going on? If I was in Metallica and I looked at this record, well, if I heard this record back when we just put out Master of Puppets, or I don't know when this came out in correlation to their release history, but let's say we just put out Ride the Lightning, and I heard this record, I'd think there's no chance. He's not catching up with us. The third track is Anarchy in the UK. That is ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know why that was the case. First track was an introduction. So if you detract them two, we'd say at least got 6 songs in the record. Some of them are hits, some of them are misses. I'd say In My Darkest Hour, the last track, and there might have been one in between. Just call it three. Three of the 6 tunes were pretty bloody good in my opinion. Production wise, it was a very dry production, and we were listening to the remaster, but the production wasn't great. And I say it's not great in regards to it not possessing the studio magic, the impact, the wall of sound, the gratifying surge of energy that this band's competitors were producing at this moment in time. It just did not contain that. On the flip side, it was organic, it was dry in a way that it sounded like a band going to a studio and recording and not relying on the funding to create the project for them, which was good. Guitar solos were awesome. They've got great guitar solos. This band, very unique, very talented lead guitarists. There's quite a few good riffs in here. I would say there's more average riffs than good riffs, but sometimes when a good riff hits, it's good. Mustaine's vocals don't tickle me the right way. I think overall there's an edgy factor as to why this band still holds, at least in this record, holds the momentum it does, if anything. You'll look at the comment sections and people talk about how annoyed and angry Dave Mustaine is, how peed off he is. And I just think it just sounds bitter, you know what I mean? I'm not interested in bitter men making music. It's sad to me. So that doesn't appeal to me. I like it in punk rock and stuff like that and peed off and that, but it's not people I'd want to go and talk to, you know what I mean? And hear about how bad everything is and so forth. Sounds very insecure, and I just don't see any redeemable perspective on the character of Mustaine when it comes to this. I don't know him personally, of course, so I just speak in regards to the character that I experience through the music, the artistic interpretation of who this person portrays himself to be via the music. Of course, you do see a couple interviews and you hear all this and that, but it doesn't appeal to me. I think the band appeals to like an edgy market more so than people who actually just want to, enjoy music. There's definitely a huge edgy factor on there, and I'm not saying that to disrespect anyone who is into the band, because when I was younger, I had Megadeth's greatest hits. And I drilled it. I had Rust in Peace as well, but I drilled the greatest hits. I also had Euthanasia, believe it or not, and I enjoyed it. But as I get older, I sort of look at the band and Mustaine and stuff in a different light. I think it's a bit childish, to be honest. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the maturity bands like Slayer and Metallica had, and even Anthrax's second record, which is where I'm at. Yeah, I've not gotten to the third record yet. I only just heard the second. There's such a great development and mature perspective. Now, when we go into an artistic realm, this band is writing song in a different way each and every time. There's a lot of creative value, whereas others might approach it in a more formulaic sense. You know what I mean? Staying within the boundaries and playing it very safe, although they knew exactly what they were doing and always do it well. This band can lose out on the good stuff, but can also really do well when they hit it correct. And that's it. As far as ratings, I'll give this record 2.5 out of 10. I don't ever want to return to it. I think it's rubbish. I'm not pleased with it. I don't like the sound of it. I don't like the writing on it. I don't like the attitude of it. If that's what the remaster sounds like, I'm not fussed about what the original quality recording sounded like. I just think there's big boots to fill, and when you're in the big four and you're trying to portray a band in the big four, this record is just nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. I'm signing out, people. One love.